Well, well, well. We are live here. Welcome to the Seducer channel. I am your host, Gianfranco. I am very happy because on my third live stream, I'm going to interview the epic life coach known as the world's greatest seducer. He published a book that took him 10 years of writing called The Alabaster Girl. In 2005, Neil Strauss devotes an entire chapter to this man in his best-selling book The Game, and calling him the undisputed, sorry for that, the undisputed heavyweight of the genre. And he is from the forest of Canada, but now he's based in Bucharest, Romania. Please join me in welcoming the founder of the Ars Amorata philosophy, Zan Perrion.
Hi, guys. Hello, whoever's listening.
So, Zan,
hmm
tell me, how is life in Romania?
It's good. I've been here for 10 years,
Ooh,
pretty much, and yeah, and it's very much like my home area of Canada where I'm from. Same kind of seasons, same kind of weather, same kind of fruit, same kind of that sort of thing. So I fit in very well here. hmm Oh, you're muted.
sorry, you
I lost.
feel familiar with this place.
Yes. Yeah. It aligns with my sensibilities in a lot of ways. And I found out I did the DNA test by 23andMe, and I found that my father's relatives, my ancestors, are from northern Romania. So
Interesting.
yeah,
So, are you married?
I
And
am
what do
indeed.
you think on marriage?
Well, I think marriage, the way it's constructed I don't have a lot of comment on it. There's a lot of social issues with marriage in the West. I'm married to a great girl. I've been with her for 9 years. Our 9-year anniversary is coming up in just a couple months, I think. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up in a few months. Yeah,
Congratulations for that, man.
great girl. You get somebody good in your life, and she's part of your experience and part of your inspiration and your muse. It's a rare thing.
I know you travel a lot. Can you say that there are some big differences between women around the world?
Yep, I would say that's true. I think that someplace like Eastern Europe where I am now, there's, it's very modern. It's extremely everyone's educated, everyone speaks languages, everyone's traveled around the world, everyone's as modern as anybody in Canada where I'm from or the United States. But there seems to be a little bit more Wild West feel. Where in Canada, you have to ride a helmet with you if you ride a bicycle, and there's all kinds of rules and regulations that are not quite the same as in, for instance, Poland or Romania and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more of the way I remember when I was a kid growing up in Canada. It's a little bit more Wild West.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I have a big question here. Why do you think the indirect game rules in the seduction community?
Internet? Is
The
that
indirect game, yes.
indirect? The indirect game. Wow. Because we've been hurt. That's why. I mean, if you go up to a girl and say, "Wow, you're really pretty," um, society has constructed it so that you seem too available, too needy, and so we learn from our own experience or from somebody teaching us, or reading a book or taking a program that you have to be indirect and not show that you're needy, and so that you pretend that you're not, lonely and would like to meet a girl. That's what you're saying, really. So
I hear you say that you are not part of the community. Why is that? Of the pickup community?
oh well, that'd be unfair for me to say that because I was there at the beginning when it first started, 2001, 2002, 2003. Neil's book came out in 2005. So there was the internet just took off, and there was these, bulletin boards and discussion forums. And I was very much a part of that early discussion, for sure. So it would be ingenuous for me to say that I'm not part of it, but I never went down the path of manipulation, which is playing games and how to get a girl into bed in 3 easy moves algorithms. So I never went down that path, So I'm part of it. I'm a product of it, I guess you could say. But I always tried to say there's a better way going forth here, better conversation to have.
Very good. Very good. So, what's the main difference between being authentic and direct with your desires with women and being misleading and indirect?
Well, the big difference is this. If we're speaking truth, what I advocate and what I teach in my philosophy is that we just speak truth. We don't ask for anything. We don't. We just wander through the earth and we say what we like. So if we see a girl that is pretty to our eyes, we simply say that. There's something about you that I saw. I was over there across the street and I saw you over here and I had to come say hi to you. There's no neediness in that. I just wanted to see, you look interesting to me. You intrigue me. And there's no neediness in that. And it's not, there's a real strong, there's a conviction in it. What we're missing, the indirect manipulation, hiding, secretive type of thing, there's no conviction in it. There's no sincerity in it. And I mean, I could talk about this for a long time, but I mean, I wrote a whole book about it. So, but this is the difference. There's men that stand on this earth and they speak what they want. They speak their truth. If they like something, they say it. If they like a girl, they say it. If they want to see her again, they say it. They don't have to, they just say it. You know what? There's something about you. It's like a king walking through his kingdom and he sees a girl. He sees a girl he's never seen before. He stops his whole entourage. Wait. Stop, everybody. I have never seen this girl before. Who are you? Come speak to me. And so there's a strength of conviction there that lands, I guess you could say.
So is that your default opener?
My default opener is hi. Hey, who are you? How come I've never seen you before? How come I've seen all the girls in this city, I think, but I've never seen you before. What's your name? I'm Zan. Why are you not my girl? I don't understand.
Excellent. So if you would want a weekend fling or a one night stand, how do you get it?
Oh, you speak it. I'm telling you, man, women are way more robust and way more open to experiences than we think. We think we have to, if this is what you want, as I said, as a man that stands on this earth, he just speaks it. He says with kindness and not like, hey, baby, I want to come to my bed tonight. No, you're not an asshole and you're not aggressive and you have full respect, but you say to a woman, this is what I would like. I would like this. And you can want something different. It's okay. I won't be frustrated. I won't be upset, but I would love to have you in my bed tonight. I would love it. Are you kidding me? Look at you. It's got energy. There's no neediness in that. And there's no disrespect in that. Make sense?
Makes very, very good sense to me. So how can we men make honesty become an aphrodisiac?
Well, that's a saying from my book, honesty is the greatest aphrodisiac. It's because we think that we have to, if the greatest thing you can do is just speak your truth. And I know I'm saying it over and over again, but it's absolutely real. Doesn't mean you're going to get the girl's going to fall in love with you, but at least you can go home and look in the mirror and say, at least I was sincere and I did my best. And I stood on this earth. I showed up as a man. I like nice things. I like pretty girls. That's a pretty girl. And I did not fail myself by, maybe she's busy or maybe she's got a boyfriend. And and hesitate. I didn't hesitate. I went up and said, you know what? There's something about you. I'd like to see you again. I would love to know you. I'd like to see it tomorrow. There's no neediness in that, but and you can say, and you can compliment. You can say, you know what? I'm going to say this to you. You are absolutely beautiful to me. And we think we can't do that. The pickup artist teaches you can't say that because it's too needy, but not when it comes from conviction and what you believe to be true, and not the way I just said it.
You know, a friend of mine asked me, if I'm interested with woman, how should I start the way of the natural?
How should you go down the path of the way of the natural?
Yes.
If we want to talk about someone who's natural, everybody who's listening to this knows of some guy in college or somewhere, or a friend of theirs who gets women. Women like him. He's not tall. He's not good looking. He's not in shape. He doesn't have any money, but he gets women. Women like him. And so we call that guy, he's a natural. And if you ask him, what does he do differently than other guys? He goes, I don't know, just be yourself. He doesn't know, in other words. But what the naturals have is they care less. They care less about what other people think about them than most people. They just don't care. They just say it. If they say, hey, there's a girl over there, I'm going to go talk to her. And if she says, I'm not interested, it doesn't affect them. They go, well, okay, well, that sucked. Hey, and they come back to their friends. I like that girl, but she wasn't interested. So, they don't go home laying in bed at night and thinking I suck because that girl didn't like me. That's the big difference.
I know you because of this man, so I should ask, have you ever used the mode one approach from Alan Roger Curry?
You know what? Full respect for that guy. He's one of the guys from the very beginning who just had a great, solid, good message for men. I have never read his book, to be honest. Sorry about that, my friend. But we've talked at various events together. I've been a speaker, and he's been a speaker at different events. And I remember sitting in the audience a few years ago listening to him talk, and I thought, yep, there you go. Exactly what he's saying. All the other guys are saying other things that were okay, but what he was saying was spot on. He gets it. It's accurate. So I think if he wrote the stuff he's writing or the things he's teaching, I don't do it, or I have never, consumed it myself, but I really do believe that he's on the same page as I'm, or vice versa. I'm on the same page as him. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You interviewed him, right?
What?
Did you interview him?
Yes, I interviewed Alan Roger Curry. I was pretty
cool.
fan. He's a really, really good man.
Yeah.
So, in your life, have you ever hide your desires to a woman, and how it works for you?
Have I ever hidden my desires for a woman? You know what? In my 20s, this is why I know this so well, because in my 20s, I was completely hiding my true self. And I was not authentic, and I was not standing on this earth and speaking my truth. And I was manipulating, and I was jealous, and I was insecure. And if I was dating a girl and another guy came along, I would be jealous of the guy because I think, oh, he's cooler than me. He's got a motorcycle, or he's better looking, or whatever. And it was a massive thing for me. That's why I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I was hiding my intentions. I was the typical nice guy. The thing that Alan Roger Curry talks about, and the thing I talk about, and the thing that a few of these guys talk about, is to rip out that nice guy energy out of your soul, because it's not good. Nice guys are manipulative, and they're dishonest, and they're disrespectful. And that was me in my 20s. And so I had to go through a lot of hard learning and a lot of rejection and a lot of heartbreak to get to the understanding I have. You better believe it.
I believe it. So this is for my subscribers. If you have not read yet the Zan Perrion's book called The Alabaster Girl, just do it when this live stream is over. Zan.
There it is. Look. Alabaster Girl. 400 pages.
400, man. I hear you say that you didn't have a formal education. since the
Uh,
age of 13. So, how did you write this amazing and poetic book without a college background?
yeah, I didn't go to school after formal school after 13 years old, but I'm well read. I read. So um, my education has been completely 100% self-taught. I don't have deep knowledge because I didn't study a subject deeply, but I have wide knowledge. So I can talk to you about chemistry, cryptocurrency, your country. I have a pretty good knowledge of a lot of things. Um, but yeah, and uh, so I didn't take a writing class. I don't know how to write. I just wrote what I wanted to read. I said, this is something that I wished when I was 19 years old that I had to read. I wish I would have had this, and that's what. So I just created that piece of that writing that I thought that I wish I would have had.
So, that's your own gift.
Thank you. It's true. Yeah.
So, what's the difference, the main difference between hot woman and beautiful woman?
Well, hot women are everywhere. Hot women can be purchased. I mean, they can purchase things that make them look hot: breasts, hair extensions, and nothing wrong with any of those things. But if that's all that they're contributing, then that doesn't last very long, as you know, and I know, and women all know. It doesn't last long. Beautiful women are ones who really make you feel inspired. They're an inspiration to you. They make you stop in your tracks and you go, wow, there's something about this girl that just makes, I'm thinking about her. And when I think about her, it makes me smile. It gives you, it casts a smile upon your face. The thing I talk about, my book is about beauty and reclaiming beauty. And I think we've lost beauty in this world. We've lost it in relationships. We've lost it in politics. We've lost it in art. We've lost it in architecture. We've lost the concept of real heartwarming beauty. And so when you see a woman who has true beauty, as opposed to nice body, pretty girl, nice eyes, it really makes a man stop and think about, his past, his present, his future, how he wants to stand on this earth. Makes him think about art. A beautiful woman makes you think about art and an artistic way of living. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. So, what is a true lover?
What is a true lover? I think a true lover is someone who loves himself. Loves himself enough to give himself to the world without compromising, without hesitation, and it doesn't mean that he's egotistical. I don't mean that at all. I mean, he loves life and he's curious about life and he's curious about his path through life. He's curious about how he got from there to here. And it could have been a really bad childhood or emotional or physical or sexual abuse when he's a child, but he's here now. He's standing on the earth now. He's listening to this podcast now, this YouTube channel now, and no one can take that away from him. So true lover is someone who loves the process of life, likes the idea that he's on a path, basically. And women love those kind of men. So he becomes, by extension, because he's a lover of life, he's a student of life, he's a lover of life. By extension, he's a lover of women, because women are intrigued by him. There's something about this guy, and I want to know. Yeah.
So, what's make you a boy and what's make you a man?
Well, I think the problem with their modern society is we don't have the idea of a passage from boys to men. We don't have rituals. We don't have a ceremony in all of history, in your ancestor history, my ancestor history, and all the guys who are listening to this. In the past, there was a passage from boys to men. There was a ritual that they went through. They went into the forest, or they had to do, memorize something, but there was a passage, the vision quest, the natives in America used to call it the vision quest. And we don't have that anymore. So we're boys and we are teenagers and even in their 20s and 30s, we're still boys. We still play with our Xboxes, and we never learn to. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a gamer, by the way. but but we never learned that it's time to put away some childish things and stand on this earth. So yeah.
You know, I'm from Argentina,
Uh-huh.
so I want to know what does tango means for you.
Oh, you know what? I wrote this in my book. People say that seduction is a bad thing because it's leading people astray, or it's manipulation or seduction. But seduction is the greatest quality a man can have, to seduce himself, to be seduced by life, to be seduced by, like I said, art, music, and to share that with others in a seductive way. And tango, of all of the dances and all of the art forms like that, has the greatest, as you know, it is completely unspoken. It's an unspoken desire that's expressed through the dance, even from the invitation to dance. There's no waving. Hey, want to come dance with me? It's a hand reaching out, held out like this, and in conviction, and it's accepted or not. But it's real and it's sincere, and there's a lot of conviction in it. And tango just has. I wrote a whole essay in my book about tango because it has this real sense of conviction and certainty that we're men, and certainty that these are women. Yeah.
You you say beautiful words, man. So,
Appreciate it, man.
what are the Amoratis, and what do they have to do with you?
Well, my company, my philosophy is called Ars Amorata, and Ars Amorata is fake Latin for the art of love, I guess you could say, or the art of beauty. Ars Amorata. It's fake Latin, and the Amorati are my mastermind group. It's my group of men who have signed up for my 90-day course. And at the end of the 90-day course, they graduate as lifelong members of the Amorati. And we've got hundreds of members all over the world. We've had them for almost 15 years. We've had members. And we've got, groups in Germany and England and, everywhere. And we've got members of the Amorati who are friends with each other, who travel together, who visit each other. And it just becomes this brotherhood that we have. And we have our private group. We have conversations in the group. We have a live conference twice a year. We've moved it around from Valencia, Spain, to Las Vegas, to Denmark, to Bucharest. We have twice a year. We have a free conference for our members. So the Amorati are the guys who really believe in this type of message for themselves.
And why did you name Ars Amorata to your brand?
Well, there's a 2,000 years ago, there was a book, or a series of books, written by the Roman poet Ovid. And Ovid wrote this book called the Ars Amatoria. And that is proper Latin, that's real Latin, and it means the book of the art of love. Ars Amatoria, the book of the art of love. And 20 years ago, when I was being interviewed by some woman for a magazine, I mentioned this to her, and she quoted in the magazine. She wrote in her magazine article, Zan is a fan of Casanova and Ovid, who wrote Ars Amorata, which is a misspelling. It misspelled Ars Amatoria. She wrote it as Ars Amorata. So I stole it, and it's been my trademark ever since. It doesn't mean anything. And the Amorati doesn't mean anything, but it means something to me. So arsamorata.com, and we've got this logo. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, the A. Yeah,
The A, yeah. That A is, there's probably about 30, 35 guys in the world somewhere that have this tattooed somewhere on their body. So we've got our membership, they buy in, and they think it means so much to them that they get a tattoo. They don't have to, but of course,
That's the Amoratis.
That's the Amorati logo.
Of the Amoratis with
the Ars Amorata logo. That's right.
So, what's the energy of a seducer?
delight. It's just completely loving the whole experience, the good, the bad, the successes, the failures, just really being in love with the whole process and realize that, one of these days we're going to be dead. And so, so it's what I've seen in the guys who are really, truly lovers of life, lovers of women and seducers is they have real joy in the process. They really enjoy the process. They enjoy everything about it. They love women. If the woman rejects them, they don't think, well, okay, I suck. They think, wow, I really liked her. Dang it all. I lost her. But they keep going. They love it. They love the whole journey. Yeah.
So, what do you say? What would you say to these guys who are afraid of rejection?
Well, uh, you know what? If you just keep going, like I was rejected a lot when I was young. I was massively rejected, but I kept going. I said, I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm going to figure this out. If you keep on going, if you're sincere, if your heart is good, and you really are, and you're not being manipulative, but you really do care and and you're lonely, and you would like to have a nice girl in your life, and you go up to a girl and you say, hey, I saw you and I would like to meet you, and she rejects you. Just keep going, keep on going, keep recognizing that, if you keep going and don't get discouraged, and you should never get discouraged because this is the way life is, just keep going and say, that didn't work. I'll go, I'll do it again. It's like a cheetah. A cheetah is sneaking through the forest or sneaking through the grass in Africa, and the antelopes and the gazelles are all in the field, and the cheetah is sneaking through like this. It takes him hours to move this far. Slow, 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 slow. And he's right there. And just when he gets to the clearing and the edge of the grass, he springs into the air and he runs after the antelope that he's been watching. And the antelope takes off like a shot. And they're running as fast as you can, 80 miles an hour. And, and is running and running and running. And the antelope's zigzagging. And the cheetah's right on his ass like this. And just as the cheetah in slow motion reaches out with his hand or his paw and slaps the back of that antelope, the antelope goes that way and escapes, and the cheetah goes head over heels like this, and he sits up, and the antelope's gone, and he lost it. He tried and he lost it, and he spent 6 hours waiting to chase that thing, and he sits up and he looks around and he licks his balls, right? He doesn't think, this cheetah who waited 6 hours to try and catch an antelope, he doesn't think, well, I suck. I got rejected again. I lost again. He looks around and says, well, that didn't work, licks his balls, and then says, okay, what do I do now? And goes to the next one. That's what great seducers and great lovers do. They never get discouraged if they lose that one antelope. They just say, okay, they lick their balls and keep going.
Oh man, that's an excellent analogy.
Think about
So,
it. Yeah.
I'm wondering how I make my success with woman inevitable.
Like I said, keep going. Keep going. Speak your truth. Take care of yourself. Hygiene is important. You can't change things like your height, but you can get in shape. You can think about an archetype that you like to portray. In other words, instead of wearing a hoodie and sweatpants and not taking and crappy old running sneakers, take care of your personal appearance. Dress the way you feel like you would like to see yourself in the future, and get in shape and eat better food, and you will become a better attractor to yourself. You will like yourself better, and it'll show in your feeling and your energy. Something will come off of you. You'll get natural confidence from that. So just keep going. Take care of yourself, and don't be discouraged. Be like the cheetah, man. Lick your balls and keep going.
Be like a cheetah. It's
That's right.
Have you ever had a misogynistic client? If so, how did you deal with him?
I've had guys who are angry at women because they were hurt or abandoned. Yeah, I get that, and that's understandable. But misogyny is to really just not like women, and my whole philosophy is it attracts men who like women, like the idea of women, like think that women are uh, they want women in their lives, and so they like women, they like girls. I've liked girls since I was a little boy. I just like girls. I'm happier if I'm sitting in a room with you and a couple other guys. I'm having fun, we talking, telling jokes, and as soon as a girl or a couple girls walk in, I have energy, I light up. I don't care if she's 60 years old. It's still a girl, it's still like a if I'm not, even if I'm not attracted to her, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that there's female presence here. So, I, to me, yeah, no. So I don't get any misogynists. That's the truth. Misogynists look at my work or start to read my book and say, "What is this crap?" And they walk away. They don't get it. They don't get me. It's true.
Yeah, they read like the the man who loves woman is loved by woman,
Yeah.
and they got crazy.
That's a secret, and nobody knows it. It's a secret. That's all the great seducers in history knew this. And the men who really, really love women and smile when women are around, they can feel it. And anybody who's listening to this knows a friend of theirs or an uncle who loves women, and the women love him in return. All of them, old, young, they all love. Oh, that's just him. He gets away with everything. Yeah.
You are that guy.
Well, we all could be that guy. I wrote a whole plan in my book.
So after so many years, what's your thoughts on the Neil Strauss book, The Game?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that book really caught a, caught a time in history when the entire world was captured by the seduction community, and we think, oh, it's just a little small fringe group of guys, but it wasn't. The reason we think it was small and not a big movement is because it was secret. Everybody was kind of secretly looking on the internet. But I know that you talk to anybody who's in their 30s or early 40s now, from America or Russia or Poland or Germany or England, and almost all of them, guys, were aware of the seduction community or read the book. It had a big impact. It had a bigger impact than we think. And the reason we don't think it's that big is because people don't are shy about the fact that they. But I know that there's an entire generation of men in all countries that the book affected. I remember going 2 years after, like 2007. I went to Poland, and I went to Spain, and the book was translated into those languages, and everybody had read it. So it's I think the book was it had a cultural impact, and it affected the way a lot of the world thinks, and I really think it was a bigger thing than we think. Yeah, culturally.
How do you remember Style, and what was your best experience with him?
Oh, well, I used to, yeah. I remember being in his house many times in Los Angeles. I had ice cream with his mother, um, and we had a lot of conversations. And he's caught up in his in. I mean, the book really was his big success. That was his biggest thing. I mean, he's written many successful books, but that book really took off for him, or made his name, I guess you could say. And so yeah, no, I've had some I've been to New York with him. I've been to Los Angeles with him. I've been to several places with him, and I've been to different parties, with birthday parties and stuff with him. And he's just a personable guy, and he's just a good guy.
Excellent, excellent. I like him too. So
You have to interview him next.
maybe. Who knows? So, what should I need to know about woman before I approach one?
Well, you need to know something that will relax your mind and get you out of your head and make you so you're not so needy and not so nervous is to realize that they are thinking the same things that you are. You see a really beautiful girl and she's gorgeous, Instagram gorgeous. And you think, wow, she's full of confidence. And the secret you learn is that they're not confident at all. They are as insecure as you are. And when you realize that everybody is faking it, everybody is insecure, everybody is like worried about what they're going to say. Everybody's worried that they're going to, look stupid, or that they're going to say something stupid, or that they're not going to be tall enough or pretty enough. The girls are thinking the same thing. When you realize that, something in you can relax and something falls off your back, a burden falls off your back, a weight falls off your back, because you realize that we're all in the same boat together. We're all trying to figure it out, and you can relax. And so when you realize that about a beautiful girl, that she's probably lonely and probably insecure and probably not happy with the way she looks today, imagine that. You can, a lot will change for you.
So this is a personal question for you. What is your true love and passion in your life right now?
Mm. For me, aside from family and my girl, for me, it's art and writing. Yeah, I'm writing a second book now, struggling with it, and I can see my whole future being one of just reading and writing. I have a rocking chair. I bought a rocking chair for the first time in a long time, and I sit in my rocking chair with my coffee in the morning, and I look out the window and I think about everything, and I think about history, and I think about art and physics and music and the whole thing and why. And so for me, the love of my life is the learning process and the creative process. That's what I love the most. And it's very difficult. What I struggle with is, this is very personal. You asked me a personal question, but I have a lot of people who come to visit me and to spend time with me, but I have very few people that I spend time with them. There was a philosopher named Roger Scruton, 76 years old, in England, and I went to visit him a few times. It's like going to visit somebody who is very wise, and written many books, and there's very few. I have very few people around me that I can sit and learn from. That sounds like kind of egotistical, but I don't mean it that way. Like to be able to learn from somebody about physics or something. I don't have anybody around me to talk about these things, or mathematics. Somebody who's really beautiful in mathematics or science, it seems like I don't have that around me. So that's my deal.
You sound like really curious about many topics.
Yeah, you know what? I want is I would love to be able to find a true philosopher that I could go sit and listen to that person speak. But I don't know where to go.
I don't know. Maybe Grecia. Grecia.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
So, what was your biggest fear when you were young, and what do you think is the biggest fear in your students?
Well, my biggest fear was that I wasn't good enough. I really mean that. I was so insecure. I look back now at pictures of myself when I was 19, 20 years old, and I'm thinking, man, if only you knew. If only knew how young and vital and full of energy and full of masculine drive that you really had back then. But all you could see back then was how weak and insecure you thought you were. And you weren't. Anybody who's listening to this and I tell this to girls too, because they'll say, oh, I feel fat and I don't feel pretty. And I'm thinking, are you crazy? 10 years from now, you're going to look back at the photos of you in this time period right now, and you're going to wish you looked like that again. You're going to wish you had that again. You're going to wish you had that skin and that hair, and you're going to wish you had it again. And while you have it now, you just, oh, I suck and this is terrible. 10 years from now, you're going to want that back again. And it's remarkable, you know? That's what I think a lot. I think that a lot. And if I would have known when I was 19, 20, when I was so lost and alone, and I was a lonely guy, if I would have known what I know now, I would have been unstoppable. I would have been, it would have been insane. Yeah.
What do you know now?
Well, what I know now is the way women really think. I get it. I understand women very, 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 very well. I understand what they're thinking. I understand their secrets. I understand what they really mean when they say something, you know? So just because I studied it for decades, I studied women. That's all I did. Yeah.
Well, that's a great subject to study.
That's for sure.
What is beauty for you?
Well, I think beauty, well, that's what I'm writing a book about. I think beauty is a real thing. This is real as gravity. I don't think it's just a concept. I think it's a physical thing from physics. I think maybe if there's dark matter in the universe or dark energy in the universe, I think that's beauty that we can't see. So that's my thesis. I think that beauty is real. I think that we turn our face toward beauty and then we feel complete and whole, like a painting or a sunset or something that makes us feel that we're connecting to something divine. Or we turn our face away from beauty, and then we have ugliness and politics where riots in the street, and it's ugly. It's ugliness because we turned our face away from beauty. So beauty to me, I think, is the number one thing that we're missing in our modern society. And it doesn't mean it's not there. It means we don't see it. We're not looking at it. We've forgotten it. It's still there. It's there just like gravity is there. Just like sunlight is there. It's there. We just ignore it and turn away from it. But I'm writing a whole book on that. So there you go.
Yeah. I recommend it, like, for sure. In this age of the Me Too movement, are the honesty of men conditioned?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad actors and bad people on both sides of that. So there's a lot of angry men and there's a lot of angry women. And you could be sincere and say hi to a girl on the sidewalk walking by. Hi, my name's Zan. What's your name? And she could, or some other people could say, well, that's offensive, and that's an intrusion, and that's invasive. But I ignore that. I ignore the kind of those voices. I ignore it. I don't, and we should all ignore it and not give any. You completely ignore it and live a life and be sincere. So it causes an effect. It is an effect. It's something that's happening out there. But man, I just ignore it. I don't have time for it. I don't even talk about it. I don't talk about these things because the other people can talk about it, not me. Not interested.
Very good. Just ignore it.
Ignore it. Carry on. Be a man.
So, is there some special place that you recommend for going out and pick up women?
Well, you've got to go where women are going to be. So guys say, well, I go out to the Irish pub and I sit there and drink beer with a couple guys. There's no women there. Why are you going to the Irish pub? Well, because the soccer game, the football game is on. Why you go there? If you want women, go where the women are going to be. And so go to art galleries or go to museums or go to the park. Go to festivals. Go to things that are happening. Go to meetups. Go on Facebook and look for events in your area. There's going to be some kind of maybe a gathering where people are going to talk about, I don't know, something. Go to meetups. Go to these types of local things. Go to gallery openings. Go to art shows. There's women there. Go there and say hi to people. Yeah.
That sounds that
Go to
like
bars. Go to bars where girls are going to be. I spent my life in bars going to talk to girls. I spent years in bars.
my entire life. It
My
was
entire life, guys.
so. Can we answer some question for the guys on the chat room?
Sure, I've got a bit more time. Yeah.
Yeah, some guy Kaiser. Yes, he is saying like some advice for Latin or German girls.
Well, there's a two different uh, types of girls culturally. Um, you know what? Everything that we're saying here, it matches it. It underlines it works for everything. Ukrainian girls, um, American girls. It's kind of just what we're into. I mean, like if you go to Scandinavia, like you go to Norway or Sweden, perhaps people are a lot more reserved. You will not get eye contact in an elevator or at a bus stop. If you're walking down the street, and if you're used to Colombia or something, where you look at a girl and she looks at you and you can smile at her because she looks in your eyes. Maybe in Argentina they do that, but in Norway they don't look at you. You walk down the street and nobody does eye contact. They're looking away. They're very reserved. So you're going to find that. Maybe Germany's a bit more like that. Not so much like Scandinavia, I don't think. Latin girls, I think they're more receptive to you looking at them, and they'll look at you with their eyes, more eye contact. Where in the north of Europe, you don't get that. So, yeah.
Take a look. This guy Phoenix is saying a womanizer. How is really looked by a woman?
Uh, Hang on, my camera did something funny.
Wait a second, guys. Here we are.
Yeah. Okay, womanizer. How is he really looked at a woman? Well, a guy who just like stomps around and doesn't care and just like takes women to bed or lies to them or manipulates them. He's not in good spirit. But a lover, a man who has respect but likes girls and doesn't apologize for it. Women adore him. All women go, wow, wow, yeah. There's something about him. So a reputation is a good thing to have. And we think it's not. Well, I have to hide my reputation. No, it's a good thing to have. Yeah, a lover, a seducer. All women like him, even if they're married and they're not going to go near him. But they all like him. They all admire him, and they all think, wow, and think about him. So a womanizer or someone who takes from women and doesn't give in return, they don't like him and they despise him. Yeah.
So here we are. SK say, do you recommend marriage in today's dating world?
Well, let me answer that question. I think, you know what? Aristotle said a man should never get married before the age of 35. And I 100% agree with it. This is the problem. We get married in our 20s and we're not ready for it. We're not mentally, emotionally, career-wise, anything. We're not ready for marriage. This is why we have marriage breaking out. A man should never get married before 35 years old. So if you wait until you're 35, when you have some life experiences, when you've had some relationships, when you've had a business that failed or successful, you've read some things, you've traveled a bit of the world, now you're ready for marriage. Yeah. And then marriage can be a good thing for, I'm conservative, and I think that a family home with the father and the mother and the children, I think I'm very much that way. I'm very conservative that way. I'm not progressive that we need to have broken families. So I think if you can wait till you're 35 years old, I think marriage is a great thing for men. Yeah.
Harlan Pampilio said, can you define a high value woman?
A high value woman is one that that is, you know what is a woman who's on her own spiritual journey. She doesn't look to you as her entertainment. In other words, she's trying to understand something herself. I wrote in my book, a man is happiest with a girl who reads books, because she's got her own world that she's thinking about. She's got her own thing that she's thinking, her own thought process, her own spiritual journey. And a high value woman to me is one that takes care of herself. She doesn't need you to, so for instance, Harlan, you come to my house, you come to Bucharest and you say, hey, Zan, I'm in town and I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. Let's go shoot some pool. And I say, well, okay, Harlan, we'll just, I have to check with my woman first. And let me see what she's going to be okay with it. And you go to her and you say, listen, my buddy Harlan is in town and I was going to go shoot some pool with him tonight. And she goes, well, what am I going to do tonight then? What am I supposed to do? You're going to have some fun. And that you don't want. I don't want a woman like that. I want a woman that takes care of herself so you can be a man and do what you want to do in this world. That's a high value woman.
Like an independent woman.
Right.
So, is inner game a red pill knowledge or confidence? Can you define inner game?
Well, inner game is like I said, it's really it's the stories we tell ourselves. It's like you being the cheetah and saying that didn't work, but I'm going to keep going. That's all inner game is just persistence, curiosity, love the process, and just keep going. So inner game is you not beating yourself up and not getting frustrated when things don't work if you're sincere. So just keep going. Get up the next morning and continue. If you do that, you will have success. If you do that and you want to be married someday, you will be married. If you do that and you want to meet a bunch of girls and have girls in your life, you will have that if you keep going. Inner game is just the fortitude to keep going. In spite of it doesn't seem like there's any answers, just keep going.
You sound really an inspiration for all men. What can you say about mystery?
I've met Mystery a bunch of times, and the thing about him, that Mystery is a personable, incredibly interesting guy, and he's got a lot of charm and charisma. I remember I took a girlfriend one time from Montreal, and it was I think it was Neil Strauss's birthday party, and we were going to Los Angeles with this girl from Montreal. And Mystery was going to be there, and all these, back in the day. And she was all nervous and said, "I don't want to meet these pickup guys because I'm nervous around them." And I went there with her, and she was worried the pickup guys, like the Mysteries of the world, were going to be hitting on her and being assholes and trying to nag her and do all this kind of stuff. But Mystery, I remember by the end of the night, as people were leaving the party, Mystery was sitting on the couch with my girl, with one ear pod in this ear and the other in her ear, and they were sharing music that they liked. Listen, you're going to like this song. You like the song. And when we were finished there, we came away from that party. She said, these guys are incredible. Mystery was so kind, so respectful, so funny. Yeah. So my experience with Mystery is that he, every time I've ever seen him, he's a personable, charming, cool, funny guy. There you go. Yeah, not needy, and not trying to be manipulating, not trying to be the coolest guy in the room. He's very gracious, and that's what I saw.
Great. Luke Cosino, say I'm from Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, my favorite city besides Bucharest. Seriously. Yeah, I love Montreal.
He says, Harlan, again, what Stoic book can you recommend for guys today?
If I were to recommend books, read my book, Alabaster Girl. I give it away for free, by the way, guys. I sign a copy and send it to you from Romania. You just have to pay for shipping and handling. And I sign books, get away. Just go to alabastergirl.com, alabastergirl.com, and you can get a book there if you want. I'll sign it and send it to you in the mail.
Oh man, I want it too.
Yeah, of course, I'll send you one for sure. Just, so go to alabastergirl.com. You pay for shipping and handling. I think it's $10. and that covers the cost of the book and the cost of the mail and the post office and the guy to take it to the post office, and and you'll get and I'll sign it for you, and I'll send it to you, and I'll put a bookmark in it for you. So read that, but also the books that you should read. You should read No More Mr. Nice Guy. If you've heard of this book, read Mode 1. I would recommend that. Read No More Mr. Nice Guy by, I can't remember the guy's name. Slipped my mind. But read that book. I really recommend it. And read The Denial of Death. Read that. It'll teach you, why we're distracting ourselves with distractions, and we're so afraid and we're so insecure, and because we're denying that we're going to die someday. And if you get a good relationship with death, you become fearless, become confident. You just move through the earth. So, yeah.
Here, my friend SK said, can you give some tips to improve social skills and intelligence?
Well, what can I say? Stop trying to say the right thing, and stop trying to think of something good, cool to say. Just say whatever comes to the front of your tongue. Don't bite your tongue. And I call it blurting. You just blurt whatever comes to your mind. If you think something's funny, say it. If you think something's interesting, just say it. That'll make a huge difference for you. Just start to blurt, and I mean, I'm saying very small thing. There's a million tips. My whole book is full of tips on social skill and intelligence. So, yeah.
Like David Deck said, think out loud.
Yeah. So your work, I mean, are you doing coaching too, right?
I'm starting right now.
Wow.
Like, I did my first coach session like a week ago. So
in Argentina,
with a guy who is from India and lives in Australia.
Good for you, man. That's great. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
Thank you so much. Oh, Art66 said, how to seduce a rich girls.
Be rich. No, I don't know. Like women are bored of their lives, no matter what. If they're rich, they're bored of it too, and they're still looking for. Of course, you can get a lot of gold digger types, and you can get a lot of women who are very superficial, just like you can get a lot of men who are superficial. But they're also looking for somebody who can make them, who have mystique, who they want to date. Rich women want to daydream about a guy. And if you look at, the archetypes that women daydream about, it's the pirates of the world, and it's the the cowboys, the cowboys that have nothing, that's who they're daydreaming about. So rich women are no different. So the things I just talked about in this whole interview here is how you seduce a rich woman. Slutty women, just speak right straight to them. Perfect. Just tell them, hey, I like it. Let's go.
So this is the closing question.
Okay, right.
If I want to become a woman's fantasy, how should I contact you?
Oh, well, you could join the Ammirati members. We have a 90-day course, and we open it twice a year. It's not open now till February, so you can't join till you can't join now till February. But in February the class opens again. If you go to arzamarata.com or zanperrion.com, you'll see links to my course, my Ammirati course. But to contact me, go to zanperrion.com. Send me a message. I'm easy to find on Facebook. Send me a message on Instagram. I look at that. If you want a copy of my book, I'll sign it and send it to you. Go to alabastergirl.com. Let me know what you think about the book. Tell your girlfriends about it. I'm easy to find on social media. Obviously, I can't. I get a lot of requests I get a lot of guys that come to Bucharest, and they want to have breakfast with me or lunch with me, and I can't do it because I'm writing a book and I'm lazy and I'm hanging out with my girlfriend, and I can't accept every request. But the Ammirati guys, if they come to town, I spend time with them. That's the guys I hang out with. So We have a good conversation. You should join it. Put your name on the wait list. Go to amorati.net. AMORATI.net. And put your name on the wait list for February.
I'm gonna put it on the descriptions.
Okay.
So thank you so much, San. It was
Thanks for having me,
really
John.
fun to me, and you are a really good guy.
Yeah,
I
I
appreciate
appreciate it,
this
man.
time.
Appreciate it. We said very shallow. The questions were good, but I only said very surface. But there's such a great conversation to have here. And when you continue this conversation and you're talking about these types of things, women will adore you, and you'll have women in your life. This conversation alone would do that, So take heart, guys. Don't be discouraged. Be like the cheetah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. Take care, guys.
Take care, San.
Thanks, John.
Well, guys, this was the live stream. So hit the like button and subscribe for more. Goodbye.